Hi everyone, I'm Hayley. I'm always in the craft room, and it turns out I am not alone in my confusion about the recent Vogue release 1236. You may have seen my video where I asked, where on earth would you wear that dress? And you all have come through with some excellent suggestions, both on where you might wear such a dress and also on alternative patterns for me. So I'll link that video below in case you haven't seen it. But if you have, and you too loved the pattern but hated the crazy cutouts, I have got you covered. So one of the commenters actually pointed out that this is a copy of a designer dress, which I was not aware of at all. I will put a picture in here. That dress looks like it's about £500 or £600, so I can see why someone would be keen to recreate it. I just don't really understand why Vogue didn't include a version without the cutouts. They'd done all the hard work drafting it. It looked like it would have been fairly simple for them to just include a plain version as well. But hey ho, they didn't, and don't worry, we've got you covered. So the most popular suggestion was McCall's 8528. I'll be putting pictures in of all the line drawings, but I've printed them out for my reference. This is a really lovely pattern for almost what I wanted, but the front closure is just not for me. It's just a bit strange. I'm sure I could alter it, as I could have with the original Vogue, but I'm going to save for last my perfect pattern that is exactly what I want. So that was McCall's 8528, a very solid choice. Next up was another McCall's 7997, and yes, this is honestly pretty much spot on for what I wanted, and I do love that they've included a couple of views. So there's an asymmetrical front, which I actually really like. I'm not often a fan of asymmetrical, but I think it's done well on this one, and a sleeveless version. And I do think, not for my use, I'd been talking about going to a particular business meeting in it, but I do think that would be a really fun dress, sleeveless. I can definitely see that. So another great choice. And third in the list was another McCall's 8140. This one has princess seams, which I do really like and is great for fitting, isn't it? It has some crazy puff sleeves on one option. Now, thank you, McCalls, for including the crazy puff sleeves and a normal sleeve. Vogue, take note. I just don't think these are going to work well in a suiting fabric. I don't know, correct me if you think I'm wrong. The modelled version, it does look stunning. I just think quite tricky. I suppose with a good shoulder pad. Anyway, definitely a great option. It comes with or without a belt. I probably would reduce the number of buttons on it. I just think they're slightly out of proportion. But yeah, definitely a solid choice. Next up is a Vogue 1990, and I actually think this is stunning. I can see the Princess of Wales in this for sure. It's simple but deceptively so. There are two fisheye darts on the front and the back. There's an optional bow closure, which I love. However, to me, this reads a bit more evening wear than business daytime. But yeah, if I were going to the Royal Variety Performance this year, I may well be wearing that one because I just think it's a real stunner. A few of you suggested vintage patterns, and I need to know more. I've never made one. Should I? Am I missing out? Is the drafting something special? The thought of the instructions always puts me off a bit because I'm getting better at finding my own way, but generally I do prefer instructions. So Simplicity 9466, a 1960s vintage pattern, was suggested, and it's not what I'm going for because it's short sleeve or sleeveless, but I have to say, I just love this. I think it is so super cute. Just absolutely gorgeous. It's not got the lapel front, but it does have a collar, the double-breasted buttons. Yeah, I think that is a really fantastic pattern. And then we had Butterick 6706, and I really like this, and I can see me making this sometime. It's not my absolute favourite because the buttons don't carry all the way down the front. It's a button front top and then a separate skirt. And I was really going for the oversized blazer vibe for my particular purposes. But I do think this is a really nice pattern and I can see me making it in the future. And also well done to Butterick for including so many sleeve options. There's a short sleeve, a 3/4 length sleeve, which I do always think looks really elegant in a jacket. And then, I don't even know what you'd call that, but a sleeve, it's like a short sleeve with a separate sleeve piece that's kind of more billowy. I'm not sure how well that would work in a suiting fabric again, and there aren't any modelled photos of it, but nice to have options, isn't it? Another suggestion was a pattern which I could alter, and I won't be, just because I have found, or you have found, I should say, the perfect pattern for me, but I could not leave off McCall's 8155 just because I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a cropped blazer in view A. View B has a peplum, and I just love everything about it. The style, the lines of it, the way they've styled it is fantastic, but I am really confused by view C. I just kind of can't work it out. In one of the photos, it looks like a jumpsuit from the back. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, a jacket front jumpsuit, amazing. But then when I looked at the line drawings, there isn't an option for a jumpsuit. So I think it's just that the model is wearing a pair of trousers in the same fabric. Maybe it's a different McCall's pattern from the same release. It looks to me like view C is a dress. However, confusingly, in the front view, it looks like legs because they haven't done a line to indicate the back of the dress. So yeah, slightly confused by that one, but I absolutely love it. And I love the fabric they've chosen for the main modelled view A. Actually, I would consider making my blazer dress from a similar fabric. I was thinking plain black, but I actually really love that look. So onto the independent pattern companies, and a few people suggested the Mood Fig dress. Now, I've never made a mood pattern. Have you? Tell me, are they any good? Something about them gives me pause. I don't know what it is. They just don't look very professional, for want of a better word. And if I'm cutting up fabric and putting time and effort into something, I want to know it is a well-drafted, properly tested pattern. So feedback on mood patterns would be much appreciated because they have so many and they do look really good. This particular one has princess seams, welt pockets, which I think is a really nice detail, back shoulder darts, which do help improve the fit on me because I do have a bit of a forward head going on. So definitely a great option. Also, the named pattern Pilvi coat came up. I don't know if it's just the way they've done the line drawing, but I'm not loving all of the kind of gathering provided by the belt. I would prefer something that's just fitted from the get-go, but I don't know if it is, as I say, just how they've done the line drawing, because otherwise I think that is a really lovely option. And I do really like the 2 rows of buttons. Someone else suggested Lekala 2774, and yes, this is pretty much bang on. Again, I do think there's too many buttons. I think they've just got the buttons slightly wrong on this, but I do love that they've included an option for like a knife pleated skirt. At least I think it's an option. Now I'm looking at it, maybe they are intending that you do one side flat and one side pleated. Not sure, but anyway, that seemed like a great suggestion. I've never used a Lekala pattern, but I believe they are sized specifically to you. So they do sound like a really great option, to be honest. Again, if you have any feedback on Lekala, do share it in the comments below. I would be very interested. Last but not least, we have the pattern I'm actually going to make, which so many of you suggested and I had never heard of. I'd never heard of the pattern company, nor this particular pattern, but it is exactly what I'm after. It is the Luster Blazer dress by Daria Pattern Making, and thank you so much to everyone who suggested this. It's absolutely spot on. I just love it. So I may or may not include the belt. So they have an option for a quilted belt, but being very short in the torso, sometimes a belt just sits right under my boobs and looks off. So I may leave the belt off, or I may put it on. The great thing about a belt is I can make up the whole blazer dress and then decide at the end. And this has, I believe, concealed buttons inside to do it up. If I leave the belt off, then for added interest and decoration, I am going to put buttons on the front. And what I'm thinking is one fabric for the mane and then a contrast for the lapel. So I was thinking a plain black wool suiting and then a black satin lapel. If I did that, then I would self-cover the buttons in the satin as well. But now I'm thinking maybe a pale grey kind of check would be nice. As for the original Vogue dress, we had some great suggestions on where you might wear such a pattern. So next time I'm invited to a sunset wedding on a yacht off the coast of Miami or Monaco, I will know exactly what to wear. That was a great suggestion. Thank you. Another suggestion which really made me laugh was after drink works for a London investment banker. Yes, I can definitely see that. But my favourite suggestion was actually the perfect thing. It was that you could wear this to your bachelorette party, or as I would say, a hen do. So if you are a bride-to-be looking for something to wear, find yourself some beautiful white brocade or jacquard and knock yourself out. It would be absolutely stunning for a bachelorette party dress. Congratulations to that commenter. You win absolutely nothing except my admiration, because that really is the perfect event. If you are anybody else and you love the Vogue dress but you hated the cutouts, I hope my wonderful and generous commenters have come up with some great suggestions for you. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye.